Well, that happened. The Baltimore Orioles lose again to the Boston Red Sox in the literal opposite way that they did last night. I'm Kevin Ostriker. This is Kevin and Zach React. Zach Bollinger has had a night. We are going to hopefully get him on soon. My hair is having a night too. Wow, look at this. Oh, I need a haircut soon. But we'll get Zach on here. Soon. We react to every single Orioles game. We react to every single Ravens game. We react to Baltimore sports. So if you are a Baltimore sports fan, if you are a reactor, we call the people who listen to us all the time reactors. I think that has been that's been the name that's been bestowed on everybody. If you're a reactor, thank you for popping in tonight, even after a pretty tough loss here for the Orioles. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you want your daily fix of Orioles and Ravens coverage, and tell a friend, tell a family member that they can find us if they are in need of that Baltimore sports coverage. Well, Orioles lose 5-1. It was a game that featured a Kade Povich masterclass for the most part. And then we saw some bullpen not masterclass. And the guy we'll have to talk about is, you can see him in the tank. Oh, he went behind the filter there, but Mr. Birch Smith himself. But the big story, obviously, the offense can only muster one run, 5 hits, lack of situational hitting, lack of getting guys in when there are opportunities. And I don't know about you guys. I cannot get a read on this team. I can't do it. Because it seems like there are all these negative trends that happen. There's some positive. And then they break out of it. And we're like, all right, look, the trends are turning around and we're starting to see all this positive stuff start to happen. And then we're back. And then we go back the other way. And then we go back again. So it's tough. The Orioles, I believe I saw the stat. I can't remember. I apologize if it was either in the chat or on Twitter. I can't remember. I believe in their last 50 games, the Orioles are 23-27, if I'm not mistaken. So they're playing below 500 baseball. But I know everybody will say, and look, it's true, I'm not denying this, that, no team has played great this season. There have been teams that have gone on hot stretches, teams that are hot now, teams that are cold now. But that doesn't take away the fact that the Orioles haven't really played up to the standard I think everybody expected them to. So that's what makes losses like this disappointing. Because how did the Orioles score their run tonight? Any guesses? If you followed this team all year, I think you have a pretty good one. And that is a home run ball. What was this? Life is a circle, everybody. Time is a flat circle. Because we were talking about... I just put this together right now. Remember when Gunnar was in the leadoff? Remember what we were saying about that? Well, Gunnar in the leadoff spot, bunch of solo homers. That's awesome, but they need guys on base. They need to capitalize on those home runs if they're going to hit the long ball. If you're going to live and die by the long ball, do it with guys on base. And Gunnar hit a solo home run tonight. So we talked about it ad nauseum, 2.5 months ago? And now we're back. We are back to where we started. And that is a crazy thing. And yeah, we're trying to get the merch going. I saw actually Scott, I know you're in here. Scott actually has his own merch that he went to the Liberty of putting together himself. So Scott has made merch before we have made merch. So he's ahead of the game on that. So shout out to you, Scott, for doing that. It's kind of crazy to see my face on a t-shirt and a saying that I said. I'm not going to reveal the saying because it's too, I want people to, if they haven't seen the picture, to guess what it is. One of my favorite, I guess, signature sayings. But in terms of the actual game, that was we opened it up with a little fact check season, I guess. Well, let's get into the game. And I don't really know where to start because there are 3 different ways we can start the show. We can start with Kade Povich. We can start with the offense. We can start with the bullpen. And each one is a different conversation. But you know how I think I'm going to start the show? The New York Yankees lose to the Detroit Tigers 4-0. Get shut out. So guess what? It's the game we've been playing all season. The Orioles, they could be 10 games up on the Yankees if they were playing regular, just a little bit better. And the Yankees could be 10 games up on the Orioles if the Yankees were playing just a little bit better. So, yeah, that is what it is. Now, Zach is obviously the big Yankee guy. I'm more of the Orioles need to do their business, and Zach is too, right? Zach is that way too. But Zach would be celebrating a lot more than I would be in blue. I hear you. This is true. The Yankees are still in first place. But Baltimore, they have to play their game. But the issue is their game's not working right now. That's the problem. Because their game on offense, too often, not all the time, but too often, it is live and die by the home run ball. 5 hits tonight from the Orioles. I want to play a game in chat really quickly. All right? For those who are watching, those who are listening, when do you think the game broke for the Orioles? What is the moment? The one moment in this game can be something that happened in the field, on the mound, hitting wise. What is the moment that you think, okay, that was the game for the Orioles? What was that moment for you? I see leaving too many on base, period here. I see Cano. Let's see, Kade leaving the game after 6 1/3. That's a good one. I thought that he could have gone 7 strong, if we're being honest. Aviator, that's just where I am with that. But I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna agree with Samuel here. Bases loaded, no runs. Bases loaded, no runs is I think what I'm gonna go with here, and I see it. Yep, Samuel says it. Jared says it here. Gerard says it right here. Yeah, it is what it is. Yep, Eddie as well. That's what I'm gonna say. Scott, yep, bases loaded, no runs, and there are a lot of good answers. Because I think when Kade was taken out, that was a big moment of the game. Obviously, the bullpen comes in, can't get the job done. Cano and Burt Smith, both of them. But I think leaving the bases loaded, that's one of those moments where you can. That's a trend breaker. If you can muster, even if it's one run on a walk, on a hit by pitch, on a single, whatever it may be, do whatever, however you want to score that run. That can be a trend breaker. And that can show, okay, hey, the Orioles scored a run off a home run ball, but they also scored a run this way. And maybe that could have been it. Maybe it could have started something. Could have put them ahead. Could have given them momentum, right? We don't know. We don't live in that reality. We live in the reality that they didn't get the job done. And that is what it is. Good argument here, though, by Curator, and I hear you for sure. You can win without the loaded. You can't live if the bullpen kills your chances. The bullpen was the catalyst here. This is essentially like I don't want to say complete reverse. So, I'm not going to go like it's an 100% like carbon copy the other way of the game. But it was the pitching staff last night that, for the most part, couldn't get the job done, obviously, with Corbin and Craig. And the offense was able to hold their end of the bargain. This time around, though, it was both the offense and the bullpen that couldn't hold their end of the bargain. And Joe with low positivity. This is a good point. Gunnar is back. For sure. He is absolutely back. You know who also was back, though? Zach Bollinger.
How's it going, guys? I'm not going to lie. I am in an Uber, but I had to join. Because Kade Povich shoved Kevin. Despite all the doubt, despite everything that was said about why is Kade Povich the one getting called up, Kade Povich shoved. And it sucks because he gets the loss in a game that he deserved to win in. But Kade Povich absolutely shoved tonight. And I had to join to at least get that point across.
Yes. Do you have an update on what your night has been? Because I think, according to what you've told me, it's been a little crazy.
Yeah, there've been canceled Ubers. We've had a night downtown. Let's just say that it's been a time. Yeah, Kevin, it was And then the Orioles losing made it an even better time. Well, worse time, but then the times had to escalate, you know.
Wow. Yeah. Well, whenever Bali hits the streets, you know it's about to be a crazy time. So
I'm
there's
just proud of Kade Povich, if I'm being honest.
yeah. Well, let's dive more into it. Again, he goes 6 1/3, 6 hits, 2 runs, 6 strikeouts. But you know what I'm looking at, Zach, on that box score?
Zero
0 walks.
I tweeted about it a few days ago. I said Zach Eflin's got to sit Kade Povich down and tell him that walking batters is the worst thing a human being could do. And I think it must have happened because Zach Eflin, who has walked 15 batters this season compared to Kade Povich's 23 going into tonight and after tonight, it just felt like Kade Povich, we've said multiple times, when he is on, when he is throwing strikes, he's getting guys out. If you look at his baseball savant, if you look at his metrics, he's getting soft contact. He's in the upper elite tier of soft contact in the league for pitchers. It's all about throwing strikes. And tonight he threw strikes. And what happened? 6 1/3. Unfortunately, it's 2 runs. He really should have only gotten 1. But it really was just a fantastic performance by Kade Povich. And like you said, 0 walks is all you could ask for.
Yeah. Man. There was a tweet out on Ryan's account yesterday when the news was announced that Povich was going to get called up and get this start. And it was predict his stat line. What is it going to be? And I saw a lot of 4 2/3, 5 runs, 4 walks, like, you know, a bunch of stuff like that. I'm not sure, Zach, but I mean, going into this game, what was your confidence level for Povich?
So I was, Kevin, you know, I love Kade Povich. So my confidence level was decently high just because I thought if he gets the walks under control, and I even texted you this, I said, if he can get even 50% of the walks under control. So I was expecting a maybe 2 to 3 walk night. I said he'd have a productive night. He went above and beyond that. Obviously, a 6 1/3, only 2 runs, really should be 1 after the he kind of gets pulled with the guy on first. But the 0 walks, like if you would have told me Kade Povich gave up no walks, he didn't walk a single batter, I would be ecstatic. So he exceeded my already high expectations. I was hoping he'd go 5 innings, maybe give up 2 runs. He went above and beyond that. So I wasn't as confident in this type of start, but I was hoping he'd give them a chance to win, which he without a doubt did. And then they couldn't.
Would you have kept him in to try to finish out the 7th?
I would have, but that's also like, I feel like that's biased towards like hindsight.
Yeah.
Yes, I would have, but in the moment, I understood why they took him out.
I would have I think he earned it. I think he earned the opportunity to do it. Personally.
Yeah, I believe that.
Like there was nothing that he showed that like he didn't deserve. It wasn't like he was immensely struggling, right? It wasn't like he was like imploding in that moment. I think he should have had the opportunity to do it. But we all know what happened with the 2 guys they brought in. Cano goes 2/3, gives up 2 hits and a run. And obviously Bart Smith comes in and probably is one of his worst, if not the worst performances in Oriole. I don't have the stats up on that right now, but
yeah, I mean, that's the second time
great.
He's given up a 2-run shot, but
yeah,
it happens. Like, I would rather it happen tonight where even if he didn't do it, we would have lost anyway 2-1. So like, I would rather he give it up now than in a game that we have the lead in. You get what I mean?
Yeah. I just, it's tough because Povich went out there. It's again, like the Orioles are asking these starters to go out there and play hero ball now almost every single night. And they're doing it for the most part. Obviously Corbin did not do it last night, right? Don't get me wrong on that. But like Suarez comes in and he has a hero performance. Dean comes in, he gives a hero performance. Kade comes in, he gives a hero performance. This team is just like putting this like ragtag team of starters together around Corbin Burns and Zach Eflin. And that's not me saying like, oh, the rest of the guys outside of Corbin and Eflin are bad. That's not what I'm saying. It's just like they're pulling a guy from here, then they're pulling a guy from there, then they're pulling another guy from over here, and another guy's coming in from there. Ragtag does not mean guys are bad. Ragtag just means they're trying to pull people in from all different aspects of the organization. They're bringing other guys in. And these pitchers, for the most part, are doing their job. But then the bullpen. But you're right. The offense, you don't win the game by doing this. I asked.
If
I
you
don't know if
score one run on a solo home run, you're not winning the ball game. It is very hard to win 1-0.
I don't know if you were listening beforehand before you hopped on, but I asked and I gave my answer as well, just of what moment everybody thought the game was quote unquote like lost at, and a lot of people were saying bases loaded and not being able to muster anything.
Without a doubt.
And that's the part.
Once that didn't get any runs, it was like, wow, here we go. It wasn't even, I hate to say this because they're such a successful team when you look at their record. It just felt like once that happened, like it was like that was their shot. Like that would, like it was over at that point. Even though you want to believe this team can come back, once they didn't produce in that situation, it was like, well, let's move on to tomorrow. It didn't mean much after that because you felt like if they were going to produce at any point, it was going to be in that situation. And when they don't, you're like, unfortunately with this team, it's the same old over the past few months. It's, if they don't capitalize on their obvious situations, they're not capitalizing at all.
Right. And again, teams go through bad games. There are bad stretches, but it just feels like we say that far too often. It feels like for this caliber of an offense, if this was a middling offense with middling offensive talent and they were going through something like this, it'd be a lot more understandable of just like, okay, they don't have the big guns or something along those lines. But this is a team that has a guy who was in MVP contention, obviously not near the front anymore, but still in contention for the award.
Right, he's number 3. I'd say he's number 3
right.
still.
Yeah, still in contention. You got
he doesn't have a shot, but like he's 3.
But multiple big bats, multiple guys who can get on base. And I think that's the part where it's like we're not talking about a middling offense in terms of talent. We're talking about one of the best offensive talent teams in the league, but they haven't been able to put it together at a consistent enough clip to produce winning baseball when your starters go out there and give you enough. Because the Orioles could easily have mustered 6 runs in some way, shape, or form. Even if you get 2 with the bases loaded, that could have maybe started something, and the game might go a little bit differently. But again, as I said, we're not living in that timeline. We're living in this one. And
the team didn't get it done. Both sides of I'm not going to say both sides of the ball. The bullpen and the offense, because I don't want to put any of this on Kade Povich. And I feel like you said, Kevin, you put up the everyone doubted Kade Povich. And even slightly myself, I'll put my hand up. I didn't think, even if he was at his best, I didn't think this kind of performance was going to happen. Like, I was thinking like a Kade Povich, like, we're in it, was about 5 innings, 2 to 3 runs. And I was thinking that was it. For him to go 6 1/3, have 1 run given up when he leaves the game, that's as perfect as you could ask for it. And at that point, it's on the offense. At that point, the offense has to, especially with a guy on the mound who has, while I believe Brian Bayo is a much better pitcher than his ERA says, he had a 4.97 ERA. The offense needs to score more runs than that. You know, you can't be sitting no hit through, 5 innings, 5 and like 2/3. You can't have that and expect to win a game when you have a rookie pitcher in his like 10th ever start against a guy who has a 4.97 ERA. You have to capitalize on those situations, and the Orioles did tonight, and that's why we're sitting here. And tomorrow almost feels like a must-win with Suarez on the mound.
Which, where have we said that before? Where have we said that before?
Albert
Again,
Pujols.
man, they ask these pitchers every outing to come in here and give them hero ball because they need it. And Suarez has, for the most part, stepped up to the plate, but they need him again. So here we go. But Gerard here makes a good point, and I want to bring this up because he says the team last year was able to overcome situations like this. This year, they don't have that clutch factor that they did have last year. This is, I think, the last year's team and this year's team are reversed. Like this team last year, with how young they were, with them being up and coming and figuring things out as they went, having all that young talent in there with a couple of vets to aid them along the way. It felt like last year they should have been going through these types of struggles. Like let's figure things out. Let's go through these slumps. Let's be better from it. And I'm not saying the Orioles won't be better from stuff like this, but the team last year should have been going through what the team this year is going through, and the team this year should have had what last year's team had. And it's crazy that these two things are reversed because you would expect that a younger team would have more struggles and have more consistency issues. And I think it speaks to just how crazy good that team was in the regular season last year and how rare it is to have a team like that just burst onto the scene and not have any, like, well, not any, but not have a ton of those issues. Whereas this year, it just feels like, well, it's a more seasoned team by fact in terms of, everybody has a year under their belt outside of obviously the Jacksons, some of the other guys. But, they lost Kyle Gibson. You bring in Corbin Burns. That's a huge upgrade, right? The Kimbrel thing didn't work out. Like, we can be honest about it. But, like, that to me, I think, was where a lot of people's frustrations were like, okay, the big acquisition during the free agency period was Craig Kimbrel. Obviously, the Burns trade was a big one. But so much of the stuff that we are experiencing right now with this team, you would just think that a younger version of the Orioles would have experienced in the, by definition, older version of the Orioles would not be experiencing the things that much. So, and yes, obviously, Bobby, I do agree with this with the injuries. The injuries play a role, 100%. 100%. With the way that they've had to bring in starting guys and doing this and that. And then obviously there were questionable coaching decisions last year too. There are with every single team. And that's the same thing this year as well. But there are just so many different factors where you're like, man, that team last year was so good. And this year's team is just kind of like, well, they're good, but at their level is not up to what last year's team was. And that is the point. It's tough because injuries have played a huge part of it, and you're kind of wondering the what if timeline of what it is. But again, we're not there. We're in this one.
Yeah, and like you said, you know how I feel about this. Last year, the regular season was all sunshine and rainbows. Last year, they didn't get swept at all. They never really faced any losing streaks. It was just good times after good times after good times. And then they got to the playoffs and they got punched in the mouth. And that's the reality. They got punched in the mouth and they couldn't recover and they got swept. This year's team is battle tested. And as much as I understand people don't want to believe in this team and all of that, the bullpen is not a strength. But at the same time, I watched the Texas Rangers win the World Series last year with a bullpen that going into the playoffs, everyone said if you get to the Rangers bullpen, it's game over. They will lose it. And the bullpen got hot at the right time. I watched the Rangers offense that relied way too heavily on the home run ball to create runs, get hot, and win it all at the right time. This team, I believe, if Corbin Burns gets back on track, if Zach Eflin continues what he's doing, Albert Suarez continues what he's doing, this team can go out there and squeak out wins if they get hot at the right time. But it's simply that. This World Series, this American League is as open as I've ever seen it. I mean, we saw what? Every team in the American League is in like a game and a half, the top 5 spots. it truly feels like this is anyone's game to win, anyone's year to win it all. And it's truly about who can get hot at the right time. So if the Orioles get hot at the right time, I believe in this team. If they don't, they probably don't get past the wild card, past the divisional.
Well, and I think reinforcements are the other big factor here, because if Grayson can come back, if Jordan Westburg can come back, if Danny Coulomb can come back, as I said last night, that is the best reinforcement package any team in this league can get. So, I mean, they have to. This is the team they have. They can still be competitive with the team they have, but they have to fix their issues and not be as inconsistent as they are. Because if you lose 3, you're done in the ALDS. You're done.
Oh yeah.
You don't get that back. You can't right the ship. You're done. If you go through a slump, if you haven't figured it out in the regular season, you're done. So, there's always a shot. This team is still talented. This has never been a talent issue with this team. They have lost a lot of talent too. But there are just the inconsistencies that are worrying, and I think they should worry everybody. But at the same time, I think everybody should still understand that with how crazy this year has been in just mediocrity, I guess is the word I'll use, for every team. That's what I said earlier. That's what we've said all year, is the Orioles could be 10 games up on the Yankees if they played just a little bit of baseball, and the Yankees could be 10 games up on the Orioles if they played better baseball. So that is what it is. Oh, are we getting real Bali on the streets hours right now?
I was gonna say, Kevin, I'm about to hop off for a few minutes. I'll probably hop on in like 10 if you're still on. But yeah, Kade Povich shoved tonight. He doesn't deserve the loss, and it just sucks he was there. I'll be back in hopefully like 10 minutes if you're still on.
We'll go longer.
All right.
We still have some stuff to talk about for sure.
I shall return.
All right, and there he goes. Well, this is Kevin and Zach React, everybody. Obviously, I am Kevin Ostreicher. Zach Bellinger has hopped out for a few minutes. We are live here talking Orioles. We go live after every single Orioles game. We go live after every single Ravens game. We're going to have a bunch of content coming your way here on this channel. Obviously, we are part of the Ryan Ripken Media Empire. Part of the Empire. Ryan Ripken Show goes live Monday and Thursday in studio. So we have a lot of content with that as well. Obviously, we have awesome guests on sometimes. Ryan has actually popped on the past 2 post-game streams. I don't know if he'll pop on for this one. It's late. It's midnight. So we're gonna keep on trucking here. We still have a little bit to talk about. The Orioles lose to the Red Sox 5-1. They're down 2-1 in their series. And what I said earlier, if you listen to the start of the series, I had said, hey, you take 3 or 4 from Boston, you're in a pretty good spot. Well, you don't want that flipped on your head. You don't want to lose 3 or 4 to Boston. That puts you in a whole nother world, a whole nother situation. So that is what it is. I see a lot of calls for me to change the fish's name. I can't change a name, guys. That's cruel. That we had a whole like debate, like a whole like controversy about this name, and now everybody wants me to change it. We like started real fish controversy on this show, and now we just want to throw all that away. There is a history behind that name back there, so we cannot just throw that away like that. We can't do it. So, yeah, it's tough though, because we know this team is talented. So it's frustrating because of the expectations. And this is something that, if you have listened, if you're a reactor on the show, you've been here with us for a while. My favorite clip is a Devin Booker clip on JJ Redick's old podcast before he became the head coach of the Lakers. And he said that no one cares when you're good on a bad team, right? That this is talking more individual. But no one cares, on bad teams if players have good performances or the team performs well. But once you have expectations, things get magnified. Things get real, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Where, the margin of error gets smaller. You need to have good performances. And if you don't live up to those expectations, you could have 30 wins more than you did as a bad team. And that would still be considered a failure. This team has expectations. They earned those expectations last season. This still, as Zach said, there is still a chance here. This team, the season's far from over, right? We're in go mode right now, right? They got to get it going here. But the season's not over. I'm not sitting here hitting all the panic buttons in the world and saying the sky is falling. Let's get out of here. Let's get them next year. That's not what I'm saying. But here on this show, I make it my duty, and Zach makes it his as well, that we won't sit here and sugarcoat. We won't sit here and overly criticize. We want to talk about what's happening. We want to talk about what's going on. And the Orioles are not playing consistent enough baseball at all right now. The most consistent part of their team right now is the starting staff somehow, which again, you've had one mainstay in Corbin Burns, who has not been his Corbin Burns self recently, but he's been there. You bring in Zach Eflin, which was an incredible acquisition. And then you just lose. You're losing guys left and right. You're bringing guys in from everywhere. And that has been the most consistent part of the team this season. Which is crazy to think about. So this is what it is. Where this is still, you look at this roster, I think almost every team in the league almost, if not, have the Orioles farm system, some of these young talents. Like, they have it all. And hopefully this is just the beginning for them. Right? I don't think we're talking about a all or nothing year here, a do or die year. The Orioles, if they don't win the World Series this year, it's not like they're never going to be able to compete for it with this group again. Obviously, you never know. There are uncertainties. Not every young core has a 10-year dynasty or whatever it might be. But again, this team is going through stuff and still learning stuff. This is still a really young team. But with the expectations, it's what I talked about, and I'll throw in a Locked On Ravens reference here, because of course I do cover the Ravens. It's like when Patrick Queen got drafted, right? 2020 first round pick out of LSU, inside linebacker. And it's not exactly a one-for-one with what we're talking about with the Orioles here. But when Patrick Queen came in, he didn't come into a team that was rebuilding, that was going to go 2-15, and he could play through his mistakes, and it would be okay. He came into a team that was competing for a Super Bowl, that he needed to play with his hair on fire, play 100%, not make mistakes. And young players have to learn. But since the Ravens had those expectations, for Patrick Queen, his mistakes were magnified. Whenever he made a mistake, it wasn't, okay, let's get him next time. We're not winning this game anyway. We're not competing this year anyway. It's good for the young players to learn. It was, these guys can't make mistakes. They can't do it. Patrick Queen cannot make mistakes. And on top of that, who was the first, or I guess the second ever draft pick in Ravens history? It was Ray Lewis. First round linebacker. Expectations as a middle linebacker or first round linebacker in Baltimore, they're sky high. And for some of these guys coming in to the Orioles, these younger players, obviously it's not a Ray Lewis comparison for a lot of them, right? But, they're coming into a team that has World Series aspirations, and they have to learn on the fly. I think that's why Jackson's mistakes were so magnified when he first came up. That's why Kobe's mistakes were magnified, right? Colton goes through a slump early. That's why his mistakes were magnified. It just, it's a matter of expectations. And this Orioles team has them, and they should. We should be holding them to high standard. We should be holding them to high expectations because they're good enough to be held to those expectations. But obviously it doesn't make it any less frustrating when they don't perform at the level that we all know they do or that they can, because we've seen it. We know they're talented. I have belief in so many of these guys. But baseball is a team sport. And, if one guy is on fire, if the other 8 in the lineup aren't, then you're not going very far. But growing pains are real. And here, look at this. On the same page here with Nomadic Brian here. Growing pains, they're a part of it. A lot of people did have the O's coming down from last year. You can't be historic every season. You can't win all the games every year. You can't win the division every year. But this is not me saying they can't do that. There is still season left. But, now the Orioles are not the Hunters, right? They're not sneaking up on anybody this season, right? They're the hunted now. They're one of the teams that you circle on your calendar and you say, yeah, that team's really good. That team has a lot of talent. So, expectations rant. You got to love it here on Kevin and Zach React. And Eddie's saying, let the people leave the Orioles phone number. I'm not leaving on the Orioles phone number. But what we're going to do is call-ins here. So instead of putting those voicemails on the Orioles number, again, I do not recommend doing that. I'm not going to do that. But we're going to experiment with live call-ins as the season winds down. So we're still implementing that process, implementing that strategy, still trying to get memberships going and what that will entail as well in terms of what the perks for that will be for this channel. But live call-ins are something so that you can have your emotions on the show. Obviously, it has to be my favorite phrase, within reason, right? Can't come on here and just be spewing hateful stuff, from a personal perspective, or just what would be considered not tolerable. But look, if you're ecstatic about something, be ecstatic. If you're angry about something, be angry, right? This show was about taking everybody's emotions and having it in a place where we can all talk about it and essentially be a safe space about it. So that'll be, and Eddie, you're so right. This'll hit so different. First time caller, long time listener. We can't wait. We can't wait. We're really trying to interact with everybody more here. And Joe, man, caller number 1. I know Joe and Aviator have been 2 of the real ones. But guess what? We have a lot of real ones here in this chat. Really appreciate all the support here. This show has been growing at a crazy rate, and man, it's been unbelievable. Where we're almost done with the season. We're almost done with the regular season. We have just over a month to go. I remember when we were talking about spring training. Corbin not having a great spring training. Jackson, is he going to make the team? Is he not going to make the team? Right? Jordan Westbrook's walk-off. Pitching ace performances. Exciting moments. There have been plenty of down ones. But we've really tried to encapsulate every moment here on Kevin and Zach React. So we're going to keep going. Still got a long baseball season to go. And then obviously once baseball season is over, football season will become the main focus. But obviously Orioles content is still going to be a mainstay here with potential moves, etc., etc. What else do we got from the game here? I didn't really talk about the bullpen, I guess. We said we were going to talk about it, and we didn't. We talked about the offense, talked about Kade. But the bullpen, it's tough. I mean, now even Birch is struggling, right? It has not been pretty for Birch Smith. I think we can all be honest about that. Obviously, now he has pitched 3 consecutive days. I think they're probably relying on him a bit too much. Where again, he's been your best reliever up to this point. You have to use him. But he pitched again 2/3 of an inning 2 days ago, pitched a full inning last night and another full inning tonight. That's 2 2/3 in 3 days for a bullpen guy. So, I think for Birch, it's been tough for him. Cano obviously didn't have a great game either. Not great. I mean, Soto was the guy in the bullpen who didn't give up a run. I mean, he had a walk, but he was the guy that didn't give up the run tonight. So this bullpen has been inconsistent all year. Definitely has been it's been a roller coaster. They miss Felix. They miss him so badly. We've we've said that they do. But they have to navigate through this season without him. I know there's been, is he going to come back? Is he going to? No, he's not. He's not coming back. I hate saying it, but he's not. So they have to go through with what they have. And right now they're essentially playing a man down in the bullpen. And that would that's what it is. And here's a point by Eddie. And actually, I've been meaning to talk about this, so thank you, Eddie, for bringing it up. It goes off of your point here. This is just, it's a different age of pitchers now, of pitching, especially with the arm injuries we've seen, elbow injuries we've seen. Nolan Ryan was a unit, man. Absolute unit. But it's just a different age now where you teams are much more cautious with their pitchers. Rarely do we see guys go 120 pitches anymore. It's rare. You see it sometimes. I'm not saying it's gone from the game, but less and less teams are implementing that strategy, and they would rather save their starters. And the Orioles certainly, right? The Orioles are definitely cautious with their guys. Eflin throwing 87 or Corbin throwing 78. Kade coming out after 6 1/3 when he could have had the situation. Could have stayed in, but yeah, it just, we're in a different age of pitching now where teams are much more cautious with their guys. So that is what it is. Where is Zach? We might have to, I'm going to actually, let's see. I'm going to try to text Zach to make sure he's all good. It has been closer to, actually, I feel very powerful right now because this is streaming on Zach's Twitter, so I guess I have full reign over Zach's Twitter right now. Yeah, Zach hitting the local bars, man. Probably. I think he was going like he was walking. Yeah, I think he was walking home. I'm pretty sure. Like he got out of the Uber and was walking back to the house, or where you're walking back into his house. So I don't know where he is. So this is Kevin React. I guess we're scrapping Zach from the title. We don't need the rhyme anymore. We don't need the rhyme anymore. I do agree with this, Shante. I think that Hyde should. It's not a trust thing, but I think it's just a cautious thing. The one that I will say was a trust thing was Suarez. Suarez giving up the hit to Vladdy. That was a trust thing, I think. Which I never got that. But I gotta let these guys finish out their inning, man. Like if it's a pitch count thing, if it's like you don't want the guy to overextend, then why is he going back out for the inning in general? I mean, do you want him to face the one batter and then take him out and then go through the bullpen switch? Or you should just be either extra cautious or just kind of figure it out that way. So yeah. What time did Zach leave the stream? Because if he's like 15 minutes on me, that would be I'm gonna try to pull it up. That would be very disrespectful. No, I'm just kidding. All right, now I'm doing stream session. He left almost 20 minutes ago. Wow. I thought it was only like 10. I thought we were coming up on the 10-minute mark. Jeez. Well, we'll go and we'll see if Zach comes back on. We'll do our final closing thoughts. Oh, wait, did we get breaking news? Did we get breaking news here? Wait. Please hold. Yeah. Oh, well, not breaking, apparently. Yeah, like 30 minutes ago breaking. But I think Rock just posted the news. Let me get it real quick. Oh, no, he didn't. Unless it's in the article. We're doing a. Oh, no. So Rock did not post the news. It was Jake Rill. Yeah, 30 minutes ago saying Kade Povich is being sent back down to AAA and will be heading there Sunday morning, according to a source. Wow. I wasn't. I mean, I was expecting it, but at the same time, I wasn't. Because like he laid it all out there. Like it hits different this time. It hits different this time. You know, he's he did everything he could, right? Like I think a lot of people expected him to go back down and like before the game. But after it, it's like, man, really? Like, dang. So we don't know, Mario. We don't know who's coming back up. But yeah, and look. Well, now he decided to turn his camera off. So we'll wait patiently for Zach is backstage just trying to figure out his stuff. 20 minutes later. Yep, up there. Okay.
Okay. 20
Yeah,
minutes.
10 minutes. Yeah,
Crazy.
all right. Okay.
Okay. I'm going to let you know my computer wasn't letting me log on. Its internet was just shitting the bed.
What
now
an
I'm back with
excuse.
my phone.
What an excuse.
Do you think I'd be on my phone if I'm back here? So, like, here we are. We're back.
Oh, man. So, yes. I don't. We just got the news 30 minutes ago. I didn't even see it. That Kade Povich being sent back down.
Yeah.
Tough this time around. It's expected, but tough.
I expected it, but like after his performance, you wish it didn't happen. Like it was on writing on the wall the whole time. They just wanted up here against a Red Sox team they thought he could have success against. He has success against them, but at the same time, I feel like no matter what, they were going to send him down. It just sucks that it's after such a fantastic performance by him.
Yeah, that's the brutal part. That's what I was kind of saying too. Is you kind of expected it to happen, but it just feels
it sucks. Bad. Also, Kevin, so I'm wearing our the day drink shirt. Shout out Deep Eddies for the sponsorship. I show up to the bar that I was at. The bartenders are in the same shirt, Kevin. I matched with the bartenders the entire night.
Did people come up to you like you were a bartender and ask you for stuff?
No, I was sitting on the bar and I was like, people definitely think I just worked the day shift.
Oh, that's so good. Oh, that's so good.
I showed up and the one bartender was like, nice shirt. And I was like, oh my God. So, yeah, I matched with the bartenders. The day drink shirt from Deep Eddies. Shout out Deep Eddies.
Yeah, I haven't worn mine yet. I have to get on that.
Yeah, I put mine on because I was only in a Kyle Hamilton jersey, and I was like, I gotta switch it up before I go to the bar. Here I am, just in a day drink shirt. I was like, yeah, that's cool. Let people know I drink alcohol. And then like all the bartenders are wearing it. I'm like, I'm just a copycat.
You oh man, that is unbelievable. Man. Did they have the ski?
No, they didn't. We'll have to prove them wrong. Well, me, Kevin, I can't wait to ski with you.
I've never done it before.
I would without a doubt tell you that.
Okay. All right.
Kevin.
There's a lot. Yeah, okay. I guess there's a lot I have done. So
yeah, we're just
Jeez,
Can you put up Eddie's thing?
Eddie from the top rope. Oh my god.
You know,
You have anything to say about that?
he's
You're
not
gonna
wrong.
defend your honor?
He's not it's like not the wrongest thing I've ever seen. You know, wrongest isn't even a word, but like,
yeah. Okay. You're getting a lot of White Star.
I know
These last couple days, you're getting a lot of white. I still have not received a hat, by the way. I want to put it on the record.
Kevin, I have like 7 of these. If you want a hat, just let me know.
I've said I want to match with you on stream.
Okay, we'll get matching hats.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
All right.
Do you have anything else from the game, or you just kind of move on?
I just wanted to come back on and say Kade Povich shoved because I saw he got sent down, and
So you were just gonna leave me if Kade didn't get sent down, you were just gonna not come back?
Possibly.
Wow, you say, all right, 10 minutes, I'll be back, and then you just never come back.
So I was trying my computer and my internet was all weird. And I was like, you know what? I'm not dealing with this.
You need to just purge your internet, man.
Kevin, you're telling me. So like then I was just like, screw it. I'm going on my phone because Kade Povich got sent down. Because at first I was like, internet, that's a sign. Orioles tough loss. Then I see Kade get sent down. I was like, I gotta make a statement. You know, Kevin? So here I am making my statement. Kade shoved. He got his confidence back in the majors. Do I think he comes back up this year? Who knows? But I feel more confident about his next start than I did before this start. He has proven that he can go a whole start without throwing balls. So that's all that matters.
All right. Well, we'll round out the show with this comment here. These guys are the young Hall Notes. I had to look up who these guys were. I'm not going to lie. I apologize to anybody who is a fan. But this is one of the funniest things. I'm going to pull it up. There is, you know. Okay, no, here it is. This is the picture I want to use. Right here. And all right, everybody knows how my computer is. It does not like me screen sharing. We're in for a ride right now.
Yeah, we got some wild comments coming out here. Yo, pull up Malachi's. This is just false advertisement.
Barely do it. Hold on.
Oh my gosh, Kevin.
Is this true?
He's in the same room as me at the moment, so like
I asked the question. Is it true?
Possibly, but like at the moment, no. I did not drink a vodka Rebels tonight.
Well,
that's
a win for you.
I have playoffs for softball tomorrow, Kevin. I can't be staying up. Oof. 10 a.m. Playoffs whole day.
All right. Well, let me pull up this to round out the show on a vibe. Zach, do you think
What is this, Kevin?
This is who we were compared to. I'm on the left, and you're actually no. I'm on the right, and you're.
But I have the mustache.
No, I know. Yes, you're on the right, and I'm on the left. I got the crazy hair going. You got the mustache. I can see it. I mean, obviously, I don't have that color hair of Daryl Hall. But
yo, Kevin, this is not the photo we need to be compared to.
Well, that's the photo that popped up when I searched him. So.
You know,
Kevin, we're trying to get the vibes back after the losses.
Kevin, the vibes are we need to win tomorrow. That's what the vibes are.
That is true.
Damn, they just broke up after 50 years together? Damn.
Well, we have a long way to go. 50 years.
Yo, facts. That's going to put us in a – you know what, Kevin? if it takes us 50 years to get sick of each other, I'm going to take that as a dub.
I will
I'm gonna
take that.
take that
I
as a
will
win.
take that as, and you know what? It's going to be able to put me over the edge. You'll have one too many vodka Red Bulls.
Wow, that is a crazy assessment. That is a crazy. You know, sometimes things escalate, Kevin, and sometimes a vodka Red Bull is just needed.
That'll do it. Well, you know, I think this is actually how we'll round it out because this is for you. The other thing that has to happen tomorrow. Tarek Skubal, honorary Oriole, Tarek Skubal.
Yeah, well, please, Tariq, please.
That'll be what we have to do. So,
all
right, I think
Aviator. I see your comment. I do not know who they are. I'm just gonna break your heart. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I was the one getting flagged for that, but
yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all right. But all right, I think that's all we have on this edition of Kevin and Zach React. Zach pops in twice to tell about how good Kade Povich is, which was definitely the right thing to do.
Yeah, because he shoved.
He did, absolutely.
Thanks, Kevin. So I was speaking facts.
You were, but the Orioles did lose 5-1. They are now down in the series 2-1 to the Red Sox. Hopefully, they'll be able to win tomorrow. And we'll be back tomorrow after that game. So be sure to, again, like and subscribe to the channel. Tell a friend, tell a family member. We go live after every single Orioles game, every single Ravens game, bunch of post-game coverage. This is not a flattering. Okay. You've had flattering freeze frames. That was not one.
Yeah, I was so confused. I was so confused. All of a sudden, everything went blank. And I was like, Kevin, are you just stopped talking?
Oh, I just stopped.
Yeah, no, all of a sudden I was like,
oh.
Yo, this is what I'm talking about, the internet, bro.
You got to get it out. Get it out. Get new internet. Just get hardwired in there. So we'll be back tomorrow. We'll have more Orioles content for you, of course. So be sure to hit that like and subscribe button on the way out again, and we will see you back here tomorrow on Kevin and Zach React. Cheers.